Enjoy another TikTok compilation. As with the ban going into effect, I'm not willing to lose what is essentially 4+ years of a diary, of vlog, my content, my life. Content warnings for this one this is what I refer to as the bad winter. It's when my self-unalive ideation really had a lot to feed off of. Internalized ableism, but we got my partner's cat during this, so Belith is very, very cute. And just a lot of figuring things out, the beginning of my art market vending. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Key moments from driving my ADHD goth trans femme partner home with her new ESA cat. She was in the back seats, comforting the ESA cats, figuring things out, etc. Her telling her, I know it's an indignity. Just to exist is to suffer the indignity of living. To be shrouded in flesh is to birth forth upon a void that cares not for our existence. Telling her that, yes, she knows that the bumpy highway is an indignity as well, then detailing the levels of late-stage capitalism that went into the highway existing in that condition. Reading, I think, like, Warforged fiction to the cats. And then also reading her Twitter feed to the cat and explaining the various gamer sapphic, anti-capitalist memes. So cute. Ah.
Darling, don't be afraid. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more.
I walked into Hades whining and meowing and complaining at the closet door. He wants to go see Belith, who is behind the bedroom door. Not in the empty closet behind the chair.
Well, it's midnight, damn right, we're wound up too tight. I got a fist full of whiskey, the bottle just bit me. Oh, that shit makes me batshit crazy. We got no fear, no doubt, it balls out. Nobody showed up, nobody slowed down. It must have been gas, I was screaming so loud. Nobody had faith, I'd ever been found. Running to a hole 6 feet of the ground. Had to hurt me when nobody cared, and be the family that never was there. Had to have hope when I didn't feel spiritual, and to be my own miracle.
Truth or dare? Truth. How many hours have you slept this week? Dare. Go to sleep! I don't like this game.
Pretty boy, with me, I said.
Oh, I'm Pretty Boy.
Yes. Oh, that came out a bit quick.
Pretty?
A couple hours after introduction with the new ESA cat, my partner's new ESA cats, and my ESA cats are having very different reactions to this. Penelope is morally outraged that this young whippersnapper hissed at her and made her back down several times. And Hades is used to being hissed at by cranky lady cats. This is just another Tuesday for him, but he's backing up Penelope for moral support. He doesn't care all that much. He's used to this. She's not.
I want adventure in the great wide somewhere.
You can do that, no one's stopping you.
But not today, 'cause I am tired.
Get a load of this monster. He doesn't know how to communicate. His mind is in a different place. Will everybody please give him a little bit of space? Get a load of this train wreck.
Heads up that if you're snuggling your ESA cat who is having a panic attack about the mice in the walls while on a Discord call, don't look down at your cat and say, "It's alright, they'll be dead soon, my love." Because the people on the Discord call will rightly be alarmed by this.
Make the plan, execute the plan, expect the plan to go off the rails, throw away the plan.
Logically, I know it's really dumb, and I know that it could happen to anyone, but when I make what I feel like are obvious mistakes when making food, it reminds me that I wasn't taught how to cook growing up. I was taught how to make brown rice and steamed vegetables and lentil soup, and so when I dare use coconut milk in a curry that I'm making with actual chicken and white rice and butter, and I don't realize that the coconut milk has gone off until after I add it, and then waste a lot of food because I also grew up paycheck to paycheck. It just compounds so many triggers for me. I have been sent this TikTok by 5 people. 5 people, Hades. I've been sent this TikTok by 5 people. I didn't go looking for a Maine Coon. I got given the runt and then he didn't stop growing. 5 people, Hades. You don't care. I'm not gender fluid, as in I go back and forth. I'm neuroqueer, as in trauma boiled all the gender fluid in my brain pan until all I have left are some charred agender smudges at the bottom. We found out later that a Maine Coon Bengal tomcat had been running around that entire summer, so there's a whole slew of Maine Coon mixes right now that look almost identical to Hades. So that's how we got a Maine Coon mix. Didn't know, got given the runt, and he didn't stop growing. Sometimes finding your joy and unmasking as a traumatized autistic person means that when your hair finally gets long enough and you want the sensory of a hair tug for consistency, you tie up your hair and you get called a pineapple and Cindy Lou Who by your partners. And then when you realize that you tied up your hair while it was dry and that it's now dried into this position, you laugh and you smile because you felt safe enough to have the sensory when you needed it. And now I have new sensory. That's really fun. And I just get into it. I love it.
What's a fast zombie? A zombie. Zoom.
Why was there bacon in the soup?
Sometimes your emotional support animal provides emotional support for you, and sometimes you provide emotional support for your emotional support animal. Hades is feeling very, very sensitive and snuggly right now because we have a new ESA cat in the house for my nesting partner. Because Hades and Penelope wouldn't give her the time of day. Not anything that she was doing, just they're very imprinted on me. So Hades is now constantly interrupting my weaving, and, you know, he gets to do that. It's a mutual relationship. We both give each other the support we need as various assorted flavors of himbo.
Engines going on public roads must have their wheels covered and a cow catcher in front.
Fuck you, I don't do that,
said Thomas.
We were running out through the storm, through the night. We were running in the dark.
Well, she's definitely learned the schedule. In the mornings, I get my partner's work desk set up for her. Before, I go do the process of waking the nocturnal goth. And her new ESA cat has definitely learned, okay, when things happen at this desk, I get treats. So I was moving a chair, getting the wires in place, and getting screamed at because, excuse me, where are my treats? She has definitely learned the schedule, and she's very food motivated. My nesting partner's new ESA cat hasn't been spayed yet. We have an appointment for it. However, she's in heat, and I have a very dumb Maine Coon mixed neutered male who is very scared of the cat who is the size of one of his back legs being that forward and that bold and telling him quite clearly to attend to her needs, and he doesn't know what needs, because A, he's dumb, and B, he hasn't had balls in years. And she won't stop murting and cheepering, and like my female cat who's spayed is losing her mind as well, and just there's a lot going on right now. I just want to sleep. So this was a concern I definitely had as well, and I questioned the exterminator that my landlord got for a very long time. Apparently, because of situations in this, especially where there are cats, and also just because, you know, local predators, you don't want that to get into the ecosystem either. He uses a very, very low dosage that works over time and targets specifically the liver of the mice, so that a predator would have to eat an excessive amount of mouse liver in order to actually get any damage. That being said, I'm not an expert in this, and being very, very careful that my cats don't go down to the basements, because we didn't have any mice inside the apartment because the mice aren't dumb, because I've got 2 highly predatorious cats and just added a third. So making sure that they don't get into the basement. But my ESA cat Penelope was from a hoarding situation originally and does not respond well to strange noises coming from the walls. Freaks her out. She'll start nursing on my elbow, start having what are for her essentially panic attacks when she hears them. That was the primary concern. Like, I don't really care about the mice. You know, it's not my building. But wanting to make sure that my cats aren't in distress. So it all started with me adopting an elderly black cat from the shelter who came with the name Persephone. I've always loved Greek mythology, I've always loved various mythos in general, and I'm pagan myself, although Neo-Nordic. So when I had Persephone, and that I was then quite forcibly given the brunt of a friend's litter, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I've got this tiny little scrap of brown fur and this great, elegant black floof named Persephone. I'll name him Hades. It'll be hilarious. And then he kept growing and growing and growing because we didn't realize that his dad was the Maine Coon Bengal Tomcat that had been running around the town the entire summer. There are a lot of Maine Coon Bengal mixes in that town who look exactly like Hades. And he also worshipped the ground that Persephone walked on. He adored her. And then very quickly got double her size. Unfortunately, because she was older, she got quite sick. And she was the type of cranky old dame who would not have thanked me for continued vet visits to prolong her life. So she got gently let go. It was very calm, very gentle, very, very nice. But then Hades wasn't doing well on his own. So I posted in a cat and pet rehoming group on Facebook. Himbo teenage male coon mix seeks dominant female cat to bash him over the head on a regular basis. And then about an hour later, Penelope's previous humans posted Diva Calico seeks family or home where she is boss cat or only cats. Will eat your stuff when she's annoyed with you, which is often. Belith is indeed having issues, so yeah. And so Penelope came with that name, and then recently we adopted Belith as my nesting partner's ESA cat because my 2 are very imprinted on me. And Hades is now hiding. Like, Hades has just jumped up onto the counter to get away from this tiny cat who is the size of his back leg. It's just like... Oh, it's all right. They'll be dead soon, my love. Once they are, I've got your favorite tea blend, and I've already made your favorite baked good. Do you want to do the finishing blow? You don't know what you've done. You don't know what you've done. Yes, I am the magma chili entity. Oh my god. Here's the thing. It wasn't my magma chili. It was my partner's. And they are going to both be insufferable after this. How? Oh. Yes, technically I'm the magma chili entity, but I was the one who was eating it. It wasn't mine, it was my partner's, and they are going to be cackling for weeks after this. Yeah, so the thing you missed is that I'm polyamorous and I'm dating two people with notorious, like, love of spice, need spice, very hot foods, need spice. I find black pepper too spicy in large amounts. So one of my partners, the goth ADHD trans femme, makes this chili that looks like magma, and I tried it once on TikTok, and no, I was out of commission for 24 hours. I tried one small spoonful, and I was out of commission for 24 hours, and it was not good. But she makes this magma chili on a regular basis, so it's become like a sort of ongoing thing of the TikTok channel that I have this partner that makes this magma chili, and no.
So why would I waste my goddamn time? I'm in the mirror, looking up between my thighs. I'm dripping diamonds.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you mutates and tries again.
I preface this with saying, not for everyone. But I will say that as an autistic person with significant trauma who has been gaslit and trained to ignore my own internal warnings of red flags, I absolutely use how people treat my cats as a barometer for whether or not they are a safe person to interact with or engage with. Because if I tell them, here's a boundary of my cat's, and then they immediately go and attempt to violate that boundary of my cat's, I have no faith that they'll respect any of my boundaries, and that, in fact, they are a dangerous person to be around. So, yeah, cats neurodivergent trauma absolutely go together for me.
Shining now. Tonight I'll be dancing around. I'm off on the road to Galway now. Look how she's off on the town. She's off on the search for sailors. Though there's fine fellas here to be found, she's never been one to stay at home. Home you'll go and it's there you'll stay, and you've work to do in the morning. Give up your dream of going away. Forget your sailors and Galway. Cheero while you do, cheero while you do, cheero while you do, ready. Cheero while you go fun, so while you might follow the water, good cheero. Galway, where there's fine sailors walking the town and waiting to meet the ladies there. Watch now.
Welcome, babies, to the Fruity Pebbles Castle of Torment, a scary castle with 100 rats.
After conquering his rival city-states, the king ruled over his new empire successfully until passing away suddenly. This sudden passing exposed a flaw in his empire's design. Either he had no kids, or he had too many kids. Either way, there was a very bloody civil war. The king had been fond of having sex with many, many women, and thus fathered multiple claimants to the throne. These claimants caused a long, bloody civil war because their father couldn't keep it in his pants. Called it. I preface this with obviously not every Target, not every Walmart, but historically, the Target and Walmarts that I have shopped at, the Walmarts have been in very conservative areas, and the Targets have been in more liberal, more accepting areas. So I'm a lot more likely to go to Target, both for the reasons, neurodivergent reasons, but also I inherently feel safer there as a visibly genderqueer person. Oh, it's all right. They'll be dead soon, my love. Once they are, I've got your favorite tea blend, and I've already made your favorite baked good.
This is so cursed. You're such a
Do
bottom.
the finishing
What?
blow? What the hell is that crunching sound? Oh. Alright then. The neighborhood homeschool kids have discovered the joy that is crunchy layer of ice and snow on top of a trampoline. Good for them. Good for them. You know what? It's time for a shower. I need to go take a shower. I'm a little dizzy, my head's a little woozy, but there are handles. I'll be okay. Fine, you can take a shower. Or you're getting screamed at the entire goddamn time until you sit the fuck down. Exactly.
They set out teenagers scared the living shit out of me. They could kill us as long as someone will bleed. So dumb.
But when does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become a blaze? When does a man become a monster? Does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does the reason become the blame? When does a man become a monster?
Singing she's a lady, and I am just a...
Where's the Dragon Warrior?
How do you know you're not looking at her?
You think I'm a fool? I know you're not the Dragon Warrior. None of you! I heard how he fell out of the sky on a ball of fire. That he's a warrior, unlike anything the world has ever seen. Poe? So that is his name. Poe.
For a lot of people, this would look like a disordered eating struggle meal. But in many ways, this is an absolute triumph for me. I'm autistic, and part of my particular shade of autism is that I really like bland, soft foods. I don't like a lot of contrasting textures or spices or nuance that a lot of people seem to genuinely prefer. What I don't like is being forced to eat those foods while being compared to a heroin addict because I dared eat some processed food earlier in the day. For me, this is a triumph from running from my mother's cooking and then realizing that I was running towards food that I actually didn't enjoy, and I didn't enjoy making. So now, going back and taking what works for me from her cooking and doing what I want with it. This is a vegetable medley with butter and adobo. And this is really, really yummy for me. And this brings happy nostalgia along with current triumph. And I just wanted to share that.
I am in Spain without the A.
You're in Spin?
Wait!
I'm spinning like a stay awake for too long. Don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. It'll get you up and going out of bed.
So I wanted to give an explanation as to why people are going to be seeing me more often than not wearing headscarves, veils in various TikTok videos. I don't engage with witch talk all that much, mostly because it's a writhing pile of drama that I honestly don't need in my life. But I am Neo-Norse pagan, and I work with Loki and more work with Segan. Because of the limited actual texts, because they were written by white Christian men, we don't have a lot of information about Segan because she was the wife of the god that they demonized. So a lot of my work with her is going by vibe. She's helping a lot with enduring and remaining kind during enduring and acceptance of chronic pain, chronic illness, and my background. For me, she's very much a goddess of the overlooked, a goddess of the unspoken power in domesticity, of support and endurance. There's no evidence anywhere that she was a veiled goddess or that she was worshipped via this method. However, this is what feels right from a religious and witchcraft perspective for me. It also helps from a sensory perspective. I'm autistic, and I really appreciate deep pressure and weight. I'm also chronically touch-starved, so this has the effect of a piece of armor / hug / support from the goddess, who is helping me immensely these days. It's not like a hijab, it's not like anything from those various Abrahamic religions. This is personal between me and the goddess that I'm working with. And I mean no disrespect towards any of the religions who do veil or wear head coverings for those manners. This is just something that helps me personally.
Well, that's no fair. How come you get to be tall? It's not as fun as you think it is. Yeah, what's better than being my height? Yeah, but you have to be a lot more cautious. Trust me, little man, it's not worth it. The hell, you just call me Goliath? I know you do not just call me Goliath, you leprechaun. Excuse me, I know you do not just call me that. Nah, bro. Oh, it's about to go down.
Good morning. Breaking news. Local queer person discovers to have their needs met, they actually might have to tell someone. More at noon.
Why aren't you finishing that weaving right now? You were just fine an hour ago. You're being a failure as an artist. You're being a failure as a partner. You're not doing anything right. Yes, my hands were fine an hour ago. Now they're at an 8 pain, and I will do more harm than good if I try to keep weaving with my hands in this amount of pain. I'm working on weavings. I'm working on getting a stockpile of weavings and scarves set aside so that once my finances and paperwork is in order, I'll be able to start an online shop. However, I'm not going to be our primary earner. I'm not going to be our primary income. And I'm chronically ill and in chronic pain. So if I take the time to actually rest my hands, that's not a bad thing.
I'm really sorry, okay?
What is wrong with you? Why are you blue?
You think healing is hard, huh? Try healing something. That is hard. That requires patience. You can break something in 2 seconds, but it could take forever to fix it.
I just wanted to talk to you. I miss talking to you. I really wanted you to like me, Diane.
I know.
You need that much time to actually get errands done? God, you're pathetic. Yeah, I need that much time to get errands done. I'm thankful that I'm being able to do errands at all. But I need this much time because it's humid today. My bones hurt a lot. My muscles hurt a lot. And it is safer for me to schedule lots of time so that I'm able to take breaks in between each errand. It is more independent and more satisfying for my life if I schedule more time to do errands rather than feeling trapped by my own body inside my house for days on end. I will rather have the extensive amount of time, which I'm fully aware is a privilege, than not go outside at all because I'm at a 8 to 9 level of pain that day.
Isn't the idea supposed to be, you saved my life, now I owe you a debt? Nope. Other way around. You saved my life, so now I'm your problem. If you don't like it, you can kill me. God wanted me dead. Now you gotta find out why.
Is the autoimmune slight fever a flare-up? Or am I legit sick? Am I legit sick? If it's a flare-up, then I don't think it's a flare-up, but I don't know how I would be sick. I so rarely leave the house because I'm chronically ill and leaving the house is exhausted. But I definitely have a slight fever.
Don't be racist.
I am Adolf Hitler!
And if I don't separate my Skittles by color, I can feel my bones. You know, I don't mean to self-diagnose, but something is wrong.
Just like she was when she was beautiful. She signed the letter.
Well, you know what they say, if you can't dazzle them with your brilliance, baffle them with your bullshit. Have you ever dazzled them with your brilliance? No. But my bullshit is impeccable.
See 'em, I can show you what comes next, so don't be freaked. Stay in your seats. I do this bullshit like 8 times a week.
My resolution? Airstrikes. Bomb them. Bomb them, keep bombing them, bomb them again, and...
Shadow, it's me, the devil. I'm here to convince you to do sin. Come with me. Steal candy from babies and small businesses.
My hands aren't permanently damaged from a lifetime of medical neglect. I'm just really committed to the urban hobbit aesthetic. So, I preface this with, this is not a one-size-fits-all situation. These are the things that I've found that help for me. Fucking hydrate. I'm bisexual, non-binary-esque, gender swivelly concept, and it seems homophobic, transphobic, something that I need to drink this much fucking water, but drinking 3 to 4 liters of water per day does actually really help me. Don't be scared of the mobility aids. I have a cane that I use when I'm out and about, not because I need it consistently, but because there are enough times when I'm completely out of balance that having that thing to lean on if there's no wall or partner nearby is incredibly helpful. I haven't been able to stand the sensory of them myself, but compression socks can be really useful as well. And this is going to sound trite, and this is going to be potentially really hard. Find support networks. Look up support networks for physically disabled people, for people with POTS, for people with these things, and reach out. Having friends and having found family that are physically disabled, even if they don't have the same exact thing that I do, has been immensely helpful and supportive throughout this entire thing. Having people that you can kvetch with and share annoyance with about, like, yeah, the next person that grabs my cane or grabs my mobility device is getting hit over the top of the head with it. Like, we have a bonk club, for lack of a better term. And having that support and having that solidarity, even just for kvetching stuff, is also incredibly helpful. Again, this is stuff that has worked well for me. It is not a one-size-fits-all situation. But good luck. You're not alone. So we fully have a barometer system set up with how my cats are reacting to my heart rate. If Penelope is freaking out, I should sit down. If Penelope is really freaking out, I should sit down faster. If Hades is freaking out, I should sit down immediately, but I've been told quite firmly that if he then gets distracted by birds, I'm not allowed to just get up because he got distracted by birds, because his name is Hades Himbo for a reason, so he's getting distracted by birds. Well, I have had an interesting day of phone calls, so I'm drinking some chamomile lavender licorice root tea to calm me the frick down. I'm working on not being frustrated at the people who are in these systems, because I know that these systems were deliberately dismantled for other people's benefit. But I have spent the last few months carefully hauling my chronically in pain, chronically fatigued butt to the library to print out forms so that I can fill them out and then put expensive stamps on them so that I can get my medical records transferred to this new doctor. I've done this 3 separate times, for 3 separate previous doctor's offices. With the finally, my appointment is this Thursday. It's Tuesday currently. So I finally was like, no, I'm calling them, and I'm making myself an absolute pain in the ass because these medical records haven't been sent over. Apparently, none of these bits of mail ever got to their recipients. None of them, which I find a little convenient. So I finally, contacted my upcoming doctor's office. I was like, I've tried to do this by the book 3 separate times. Here are the fax things. Can you please just request my medical record so that it actually gets done? So I called the receptionist, got transferred to the HIM department, left a message, and then got called back by the HIM department saying, oh, actually, it would be more effective if the receptionist did that for you. So I was like, all right, fine. And I called back the receptionist. Receptionist was clearly peeved, but not at me. Because she's like, oh, our HIM department told you that it would be more effective if I did this? I'm going to contact my supervisor and get your information to them, and someone will make sure that this is done. It's like, okay. Alright, I automatically apologize because I've got that level of trauma, and it's just like, I don't know what this HIM department did, or why they got on this receptionist's bad side, but you don't fuck with medical receptionists. They get 90% of, they get so much bullshit lobbed at them that is actually the fault of, so many other people, and it's just like, no, I'm not fucking with this person, But I'm also drinking copious amounts of chamomile tea because I finally have this doctor's appointment, and hopefully we can start figuring shit out. And I can actually figure out, 99% of what's going on with me, but I just want a diagnosis.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
We now interrupt your doom scrolling to bring you this.
I wanted people to see me on the streets and be like, that there is a homosexual.
So, I'm filling out my intake information for this doctor's appointment tomorrow because I'm a new patient with this office, and I'm laughing at the sex and birth control questions. Are you having sex? My brain has settled on a spectrum currently, and with what freaking energy? No. What forms of birth control are you using? I'm not having sex. None of my partners have functioning bits for my functioning bits. And I have an IUD, although it's probably expired at this point. What form of birth control would you like to discuss? Yeet everything. Get them out. I don't want these. These aren't functional. I'm not going to use them. Get them out. It's like that saying, fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to, I don't know, bad sex. Do you even know who you were misquoting? The Han Solo guy?
Dingle bongle dingle dangle, yickety doo, yickety da, ping pong, lippy tappy too ta.
I tried to help you, it just made you mad, and I had no warning about who you are. I'm just glad I made it out without breaking down, and then ran so fucking far that you would never ever touch me again. Won't see your alligator tears, 'cause no, I've had enough of that.
Thicker than water, blood runs thicker than water, blood runs thicker than water, but both feel the same when your eyes are closed. I am the river's daughter.
I solved for the CR ticket and I deployed the draft blocker. Not a single thing you just said was the correct terminology. And I didn't need to turn it off and back on again. It's called bouncing and cursed. You solved for the critical role ticket?
You have mother issues!
Yay! I have mother issues!
No, that's bad.
Aw, I have mother issues.
He gets flashbacks.
What are you telling them? I do not get flashbacks. I remember bad things vividly.
So, next door to me on Fridays is a group of homeschoolers, and they've brought me so much joy listening to them because our sort of library space is right against their backyard. They have so much fun. And today, they've discovered New York and New Jersey accents and are going very loudly to each other, "Forget about it, I'm walking here." I love the universal northern New England homeschooler discovery of these stereotypes and accents, because I did this too. And I also love that I have 2 tri-state partners, and at least one of them, when I tell them about this, is going to get that twitch and sort of jerk of the head from the grating nails on the chalkboard sensation of these accents coming from their northern New England partner. And just so much joy from these kids.
I don't wanna talk about the things we've been through. Have you forgotten the lessons I taught you?
Athena!
Have you forgotten to turn off your heart? This is not you. I see you changing from how I've designed you. Have you forgotten your purpose? Let me remind you.
I am the Lorax. I speak for my knees.
Do you really think you can stop me?
Oh, maybe not. But you're forgetting we're in a room full of magical artifacts, and I don't know what any of them do!
Mother, I'm coming home.
Oops, got your D&D character. Are you okay?
I'm trying to sleep after a couple days of continual spicy brain, and my body keeps trying to flight reflex. No, we are safe. Sleep meat suit.
See, the problem with the RADS test is that they expect me to remember my childhood.
Both they expect me to remember my childhood, and B, they're not specific about whether I should be talking about my found family, which respects my boundaries and my sensory limitations and my social limitations, and we have systems in place for all of that, or the general public who find it rude to say, hey, by the way, there's a truck going by, the train just went by, and you're talking to me, but can you shut up, please? General public finds that rude. My found family understands that, because we're all traumatized neurodivergent genderqueers.
He's just resting.
In pieces! That man is dead!
He's so sleepy.
So, I live with my nesting partner, who works in IT, and this week she's on call, which means that she is the first person called, that if the warehouse robots start a rebellion, she then alerts the other members of the team. She is so sleep deprived and so dopamine starved that the effect is similar to when she smokes the devil's lettuce, and she's that level of just woo. So last night I was calmly sleeping in my armchair because I am an old man with chronic illness and arthritis, and my bones hurt if I try to sleep in a normal bed. And I wake up to my goth, trans femme, IT walking stereotype nesting partner looming over me like a snoopy spectator vulture of death, looking at my hair as I'm sleeping, going, Fluffy. Because she apparently had gone to tell the cats that they were fluffy, and now it was my turn to be woken up by a looming goth, sleep-deprived IT worker. I love her dearly, but no! The last time she was on call, the final night when she was, coming down off of a week of this, she was watching a Mythical Kitchen video, and 3 separate times started laughing so hard that she ended up sobbing, being very confused, turning to me where I'm sleeping in the armchair in the living room, going, why am I crying? It's like, because you're sleep deprived and you've had a very long week. Oh, okay. Going back to watching the video, laughing, sobbing, why am I crying? Because you're sleep deprived and you've had a long week. 3 separate times. I'm very thankful that she doesn't have to do on-call all that often, because ye gods. Oh, no, you don't understand. I'm not talking about my going no contact with my family out of shame. I'm doing it because it's the polite thing to do. And if you keep pushing this boundary, I'm going to overshare and shame you to the point that you never bring it up again. So, for any not aware, I had a spicy in the unfun way childhood regarding undiagnosed autism and a fatphobic/diet culture mother. Part of my healing from that are something I've started to call victory bowls. This particular one is rice made with homemade chicken stock, bulk-bought chicken thighs, then processed into roasted chicken thigh bone stock, butterflied thighs, cracklins, and schmaltz, pre-prepped spaghetti squash, spicy pulled pork, which helps me put a dent in my 3 to 4 liters of water I need to drink per day, and shredded cheddar cheese. It was then microwaved, and I've added a ton of adobo all-purpose seasoning on it, because I've got to appease the pot's gods. Stir it all until it's one homogenized consistency, aka good texture for me, and then enjoyed while feeling inherently safe in my kitchen. Fuck you, Mom, I win.
When your ESA cats are pissed that you're not picking up on their cues that your nesting partner is stressed, but you can't control that she's talking to her mom on the phone. So they alternate between demanding petting, screaming at you, and stealing small objects, and heading toward the living room. Sigh.
You okay there, Olaf?
Oh yeah, we're calling this controlling what you can when things feel out of control.
And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, 'cause all the cool kids, they seem to fit in. I wish that I could be
It would be so awesome. It would be so cool.
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing.
What's your name? Who's your daddy?
Quick check! If you're queer, look at the person to your right. Now look at the person to your left. Chances are you're sitting alone in a strange position drinking coffee overthinking about a situation that you made up. Oh, you looked the wrong way?
I am the king, now you're just a pawn. Who's got the high ground now, Obi-Wan? She get you with the tactics. She get you with the tactics.
So, I just got advertised, well, how well do you really know your family sort of card game. And I was so confused because in what world are there enough people for you to market this to? But then I remember that I'm neurodivergent and genderqueer and gay in general, and that tends to really skew my data points on how many people actually have a good relationship with their families. So the thing about my particular brand of trauma and chronic pain is that I spent my entire life being trained to ignore my chronic pain. So now I'll go, da-da-da-da-da, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, while my body is going, no, 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 you're not. Until finally my body goes, fuck you! You know you're not! So that is why I currently have the heat pack underneath, being weighted down by my, flannel. So, fun.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop.
Boom, boom, boom.
Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lolly.
Wow, a surprisingly peaceful domestic moment. When will it be ruined? There it is.
Pissing all by yourself, handsome?
Sir, will you please stop staring at me?
Where's the rest of you?
Hey, heads up for my peeps who view themselves as inherently monsters. Just because you are able to think of self-serving reasons for you to have done the nice thing does not negate the fact that you did the nice thing. There was 100% a way for you to get the end result that you wanted while being an absolute dick, and you chose not to be an absolute dick. It's possible that you're not inherently a monster.
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours.
Excuse me. Little brat.
Alone. It's they, them pronouns. You need to leave they alone. Them, man. I'm trying.
I've got a lovely bunch of random thoughts. There they are, all standing in a row. Deep thoughts, weird thoughts, thoughts that fill me with dread. Give them a think, they drive me to drink. How do they fit inside my head? Oh.
I'll just fix it, put it back together, it's fine, totally fine, no pressure. How am I still shaking? Smile, it's not like they know that you're faking. Hi, how are you? That's great, huh? No, I can't take a break, there's too much work to get done, and sadly I have just begun. Don't cry, wave goodbye. Goodbye, you're just fine, that's a lie. Don't cry, wave goodbye. Goodbye, you're just fine. Right?
You may not be the girl of his dreams in the typical sense, but you can always be the feral swamp witch that haunts his dreams and sends him increasingly disturbing visions until he comes crawling on his knees, begging for mercy. Don't ever sell yourself short.
Being gay isn't a choice. You will be gay. Sorry. You have no choice here.
I am the king, you're just a pawn. Who's got the high ground now, Obi-Wan? With the tactics. With the tactics.
Hold on. We're not going on the boat. Derek's selling the house. We have to go to therapy?
What the fuck happened?
Ooh, a swan, that's nice. I like swans. Oh, shit!
Dumb bitch.
Super mega self-reliant, hyper-independent. I won't ask for help even from those that I've befriended. Only thing I want from anybody is attention. Super mega self-reliant, hyper-independent. Hum-diddle-diddle, hum-diddle-lie, hum-diddle-diddle, hum-diddle-lie.
Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know.
Well, he does provide a really good counterbalance for knotting the ends, knotting the fringe. Are you loafing, my dear lad? Yeah. Are you a pain in my ass? Are you a cute pain in the ass? So, I preface this with this will not work for everyone, but a really, really great resource that I found as someone who is increasingly physically disabled and can't reliably drive is the local Facebook queer exchange. I'm in Western Massachusetts, so there's a Western Massachusetts one, and I am able to do things like, hey, this is a really weird ask, but I have a lot of donations that I'd really like to get to the local crisis center, but I'm not able to reliably drive, and I keep having pain days and fatigue days during the times that they're open for donations. Is anyone willing to stop by and do a porch grab to, or porch pickup rather, to get this stuff to the crisis center? And I just had someone who's like, yes, I've been meaning to get stuff over there forever. I'll come pick your stuff up and it'll be accountability for me getting my stuff over there. Penelope, you are fine. Living with cats. It's a really great place for information on the area. It's a really great place for information about, like, queer-friendly doctors in your area. It's a really good resource, and it's not available for everyone, but if you have one in your area, I highly recommend utilizing it.
And where were you 20 years ago? 10 years ago? Where were you when I was new? When I was one of those innocent young maidens you always come to? How dare you? How dare you come to me now, when I am this?
Mom! Dad sat down in the armchair, but he's not making the red dot show up. Make him make the red dot. Please. Mom. Can you make Dad make the red dot? Mom. Fine, I'll just groom myself.
Keep your eyes closed. I have a surprise. Did you do the dishes? I said surprise, not miracle.
Dad, you need to lay down. You're having a dizzy spell. and you're having a sensory overload. I won't push too much, but come to your armchair. I'll lay on top of you until you regulate.
This is the story of a girl. This is the story of a boy.
So, I live with my ADHD goth trans femme, and she uses various, like, white noise things to help her sleep. Not a problem. Sort of, not really a problem, is that she shifted to this nature sound, bird sound playlist. And I, a birder, someone who's crunchy, who knows, like, too much about animals, will wake up at 2 in the morning, being very confused, because I know it's 2 in the morning, being very confused as to why I hear what's called the dawn chorus, which is the pre-dawn bird song when all the birds wake up and scream that the sun is coming up. And it's happening at 2 a.m. and I'm like very confused. I've woken up and it's like, oh right, I live with her. She's on this bird playlist now to help her sleep. Right. Okay, I'm going to go back to bed until the real dawn chorus starts.
I am calm. I am relaxed. I am a happy tree. You are making it very hard to be a happy tree.
Look, I may not be a gamer, but even I, with my crappy memory, can remember it when it's been explained to me multiple times by multiple partners that the entirety of Dragon Age could have been avoided if that bald elf had stopped pondering the orb. So, I make orbs. Orbs. Because, of course I'm making orb. So, for anyone wondering what it's like to live with a Maine Coon, it's like having a clingy toddler that is just wanting attention when you're daring to do anything else, i.e. weaving, or housework, or anything like that. Yeah? Are you a whiny toddler? Are you a needy toddler? Yeah? You're about the size of one, aren't you?
Whopper, Junior, double, triple Whopper, flamethrower taste with perfect toppers. I own this day. Lettuce, mayo, pickle, ketchup.
I am hanging out in the kitchen while my girlfriend is on a date with our boyfriend. And occasionally I'll hear just snippets and I just heard her very excitedly go, "Werewolf robots!" I don't have any context. I'm not sure I want any context, but apparently there's a werewolf robot.
This gun isn't very edgy.
Something just happened.
I am not well.
I didn't mean to put it in here. Oh crap, the kids saw me with it. I'll get a good grip, and then hide it by Dad. Make yourself useful, human, and guard this.
You know, I have a queer kid. You have a kid. Gender fluid. You're cool with it. I'm not a monster, Jake.
He has now gone off to pouts, but I'm just trying to get some weaving done, and he is up my butt. So, we'll see how this goes. He's both jealous that I'm not petting him and jealous because I've taken one of the only boxes in the entire household that he fits in. Yeah, you. God damn it!
You go down just like Holy Mary, Mariona.
Mariana Cross, you beauty never ever scared me. Mariana Cross.
So, I have a background of medical neglect and childhood abuse, and I'm chronically ill, currently being evaluated for hypermobility spectrum disorder and EDS, and even I am absolutely astonished at the flexibility my brain has in going from self-hate to self-hate methods. Because I have gone from, oh, you're not actually going to be believed, no doctor's actually going to believe you ever, your own mother didn't believe you, to, wait, crap, you were actually believed. You and you alone are perpetuating all the bullshit that is wrong with the medical community and the medical system. You are using white woman tears. You are using infantilization of your autism and not the fact that you were scared out of your goddamn mind, so you were clearly nervous by the doctor. It is all your fault. Everything in the medical system is your fault. Like, goddamn. Like, I will fully acknowledge that I am incredibly privileged to have access to this medical care, but the amount of flexibility, like, I'm hypermobile. That flexibility astounds me. Why do you have a small painting of a cherry pie slice in your kitchen? Because my hometown is artsy, but this one restaurant owner keeps flooding the market with these cheap paintings of food, so much so that I got this one for 25 cents at a thrift store, and it was marked on the back for $40. I respect artists immensely, but I hate the fact that because he's established money, he's able to make that amount of art and upcharge it that much, while artists in the community who don't have established restaurants to sell their art at are struggling to make rent. And there's a housing crisis in the hometown, and so I keep it because I like the irony of purchasing it for 25 cents, and I like cherry pie.
She's been through shit, but she keep her head high. Wear a lot of colors and patterns that may or may not match. Sunflowers.
Change the pronouns, but yeah, give me those flowers. Shut up. Change the pronouns, yes. Last night, something happened that was supportive and gay and supportively gay. When I first moved in with my nesting partner, like the second or third week, she got laid off her work because the company was being downsized. Only person working, she was taking in unemployment at that time, and she came to me like being really stressed out because she needed to play this one video game because it was one of the only things keeping her sane at that point. It was one of her only sources of dopamine. She's chronically dopamine starved. And I let her know that, no, those are necessary purchases for your mental health. Those have been included into the budget. And she was just shocked by this. And last night, I said, I need more yarn, or I want more yarn. And she turned to me and she's like, that is part of the budget, because that's part of what's needed for your mental health. I was really ashamed because I'm not bringing in any income right now. I'm entirely dependent on her right now for income, and I'm building up stock of weavings and figuring out a product that I can sell, but I'm not bringing in any income. But the just acknowledgement of no, that is necessary for your mental health. It was supportive, and it was gay, and it was gaily supportive, and I'm not entirely... How dare you turn my own logic on me like that? How dare you?
Fighting the sunset here, so... And there it is. I absolutely love it.
My previous car was absolutely covered in sunflowers. This one partner of mine that sent me this drove in it twice. Apparently I am known, and I thought my goth girlfriend would let me do this to her Subaru, which is our primary car. I would, but there's not a chance. But I'm being blushy and known and back. Mirroring the neurotypical is maladaptive when you get stuck after 45 minutes of being on hold with the RMV and the person who is supposed to be customer service ignores your repeated requests that she slow down so that you can understand her, and is just generally an absolute twat. Mirroring doesn't help in that situation, it just makes things a lot worse.
There is not one hair of you that I would rearrange. I love you the way you are, and that will never change.
Sing you poetry, and I would keep you from harm if you would stay beside me.
I have no use for rings of gold. I cannot for your poetry. I only want your hand to hold.
I only want you near.
So, due to both happenstance and sensory preferences for food, we go through a lot of spoons in this household. We go through like a lot of spoons, and we kept running out of spoons. And I'm chronically ill with chronic fatigue, so at some point, like, I'm so tired of running out of spoons, I'm just going to go to the thrift store and I'm going to get more. So, I'm rich in spoons!
Are you gonna tell me what's going on?
I would, but I think explaining it might give us both an aneurysm.
Some people say I dress too gay, but every day I feel so gay. And when I'm gay, I dress that way. Something wrong with that? No.
I don't want to be on my phone anymore, but if I'm left alone with my thoughts, they're gonna get me!
One of my followers tagged me in a video of another content creators, like Weaver content creators, that apparently they thought that I would like, and I really did, and it was really sweet, and I got acknowledged as, like, a legit disabled Weaver. Did you get acknowledged as human and valued for the content you were putting on the internet? And is this making you have emotions? Yes. Yes, I am. Pat, pat. Pat, pat.
Best bet in all my life, living with a broken pair of eyes. Can't see to save my life, living with this no good pair of eyes.
You will be mildly pissed. You're gonna be mildly pissed.
What do you have there, Brian? It's a cup of dirt. Just put an F on there and let me go. Well, explain it. Well, it's a cup with dirt in it. I call it cup of dirt.
And we're back to this. Hades, you cannot fit into the loom. You cannot get out of the loom. Honey, you can be next to the loom. You can be behind the loom. You can be on the other side of the loom. But you cannot fit into the loom when there is warp and a project on it. You don't fit. You don't fit. You're too big. I'm sorry. See, I tell people how big he is, and they think I'm joking. No, he is quite literally the size of a small bobcat, and he's clingy, and he doesn't like when I do things other than pet him.
Us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now. Zuckerberg and Gates and Buffett, amateurs can fucking suck it.
This smells delish. This smells like an armpit. Here.
Please excuse me as I give myself an ounce of serotonin.
The good news is there's no more plague! Huzzah!
The bad news is there's no more London.
And if you need anything else, please hesitate to ask.
I think you're just doing something stupid.
I'm stupid, do me.
I see you, you're walking across the campus. Cool professor studying.
I said that out loud.
How am I supposed to pretend?
Are you a Care Bear?
I'm an intensive Care Bear.
Hello. In light of recent events, thank you for understanding.
Her spay appointment is set. However, the problem is that now she is comfortable with the humans in the household, not just the cats. And she has determined that we provide food and water and litter and, clean litter box. And she is very, very annoyed that we are not now producing a male cat with the ability to fuck her. Because I have a neutered male cat who doesn't know what she's asking for and is largely just ignoring her at this point. But she's so loud. Her gender right now is horny, angry scrim. And this appointment cannot happen soon enough.
You, father, you smell of male cat. Where is the male cat? Give me the male cat.
Nobody in this house has working balls. Go scrum at your mother.
This is your friendly reminder that non-binary people do not owe you androgyny. They do, however, owe you a cup of tea. Belith keeps coming and just perching on my knee and then dashing off again. Do you know what's going on? She's entering her second heat, and as a young lady, she's having a lot of confusing emotions towards the opposite sex, so she's reaching for reassurance. I am reminding you that you said that when you go back on tea.
Needs to learn some morals and values.
Look at him and tell me there's a God.
I hate when people call their significant other their partner in crime. Like, my boyfriend is not my partner in crime. We would never commit a crime together. We have never committed a crime together. We would never commit a... So I dared have the audacity to sing along to music while I was weaving, and apparently my singing sounds like me crying. So I now have a very, very anxious ESA cat who's trying to do her job, but I just wanted to sing while I wove. And yes, I was singing union songs, and it made me a little bit sad because of the state of everything in the world right now. But sometimes I get to sing and, apparently that's not allowed.
Yeah, I had a pretty sad childhood, but as I get older, I realize it keeps getting worse.
You have invented a new kind of stupid, a damage you can never undo kind of stupid, and open all the cages in the zoo kind of stupid. Truly, you didn't think this through kind of stupid.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man's feeling. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling. This is how you remind me. This is how you remind me.
Hold on! This is my favorite. Hold on! Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess! The Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
I'm gonna stab him.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
It's my favorite
She
movie.
wore a crown and she came down in a bubble,
I'm
dog!
not fighting with you.
Grow up,
I'm not
bro!
fighting with you.
The thing about the gender binary is that I was doing a bad job, and I would have been fired if I didn't quit, you know? Also, nobody likes a nepotism baby. So, my mom's a woman.
She pulled a T for T romantic Uno reverse card.
She pulled an Uno reverse card. I was being all suave and grabbed her hand so that we could dance in the kitchen during a snowstorm, and then she made it so that I was technically in the lead position, but in a very bottomy way. Because she actually has experience with going to high school dances and dancing in both roles. I'm just a little bottom trans mask. Okay, the blizzard's on its way. I have got my black, orange spiced tea from my boyfriend. Got a good pot of that. Thank you, love. I've taken preemptive Tylenol because my bones are already starting to hurt with the increased humidity and barometric, whatever the fuck it is, pressure. I'm drinking gallons and gallons of water and the hope of not getting dehydrated. And let's just get through this, shall we? Work smarter, not harder. If you're chronically ill and your bones hurt and you have hyperempathy and you don't feel comfortable getting a delivery person to actually get delivery food in the upcoming storm, send your weird partner who likes cold weather to go get it for you.
Mother, I crave violence.
Cannabis. The glue holding this whole shit show together.
You would not hold up well under torture. Oh, and you would? I did.
Finally figured out who you're attracted to. A gender crisis.
They were very charismatic.
Looking at me like you want my man. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? But out and out of every reason. Now suddenly you're asking for it back. Could you tell me where'd you get the nerve?
Just found out that making a mistake doesn't mean I have to hate myself, and I don't have to be perfect to be a good person. Now, this is news to me and not what I was told when I was a child.
Good morning, everybody. I've woken up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. I'll be spicy till midday and then mild into the afternoon. A possible tropical cyclone at 4 p.m. So prepare yourself. Category 6.
Stop. Before you scroll, take a look at my floofsters. They're really fluffy. You will not regret it.
Excuse me, barmaid. I'm afraid you brought me the wrong offspring. I ordered an extra large boy with beefy arms, extra guts and glory on the side. This is a talking fish bone.
No. You're only still alive because I made a promise.
It's a temporary setback. It's a momentary loss. But conveniently my ego doesn't bruise.
I'm getting some mending of my nesting partner's t-shirts done while she's at her work-from-home tech job. And her territorial ESA cat is carefully monitoring the situation. Belleth, love, I'm not hurting that.
I'm here outside my doctor's appointment, or outside my doctor's office for my doctor's appointment, and I'm just morbidly, gallows humorly laughing at the fact that my brain has fully gone into I am a sponge on my partner and society for daring to have access to this healthcare. Because internalized ableism and internalized eugenics as a disabled neurodivergent person is fun. That was definitely sarcasm. Joy.
Hey, sexy lady, I like your flow.
You know, fuck meat suits. Like, you get assigned sentience. You get a meat suit that you then have to take care of for the rest of your life. And sometimes your meat suit works great, and sometimes your meat suit doesn't work great. Sometimes, and you have to keep putting food and water into them, and sometimes your meat suit randomly decides that it doesn't like two of the main fuels that the rest of the meat suits eat just fine, and that it doesn't like the precise water that you're putting into it, even though the rest of the meat suits handle it just fine. No, you need fancy electrolyte water, or your veins decide to stop working as well, and you get dizzy, and you fall, and then you get to deal with all sorts of chronic bullshits from your meat suit deciding to not work well because it was too stressed for too long. Just fuck meat suits.
And I guess I'll just miss her, even though she isn't even really gone. Things are just different. You make me do too much labor all day, every day. Therapist, mother, maintenance, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, lift to attend him so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her, you make me do too much labor.
Do you or do you not feel bonita?
I feel bonita.
Wonderful, because you look bonita.
So, one of the small satisfactions of being a trans mask house husband for your trans femme goth is that you only have to have really one thread color for mending because 99% of her clothing is black.
Sometimes I want to say, I love you all, but I find it difficult.
Do you?
Yes, so I say something like, I'm glad we're all here.
Okay.
I'm glad we're all here.
We're so glad you're here too.
A hypothetical situation that I'm sharing so that other people don't have to deal with my hypothetical, adrenaline response when it happened. Hypothetically, if you go to shake your oat milk carton, because that's what the directions on the carton tell you to do, make sure that your hands aren't in a fucky mood. Just, because, hypothetically might get dropped. Also, hypothetically, if it gets dropped from, hip height and it's still really full, it may bust a seam. Hypothetically. No adrenaline response at all. I'm fine. Also, hypothetically, most of it will fit into a 32-ounce quart size mason jar, and hypothetically there may or may not be a jar full of thick white liquid in my fridge right now, and I hypothetically am absolutely not coming down from an adrenaline response from having potentially wasted that much food. Yeah, my morning's going great. So, I am basically a trans mask house husband. I do a lot of the food prep, a lot of the cleaning, etc., while my high-powered trans femme works at her high-powered tech job from home. And I also have a background of dissociative amnesia, so I'm not sure where these triggers come from, but I have a really big thing about food waste and just not having access to a lot of food. Not sure where this comes from, but it's there. So, one of the people that I take a lot of inspiration from is Miranda Rosenberg, Donegal, Homestead, and so here I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now. On the back burner, we've got chicken thigh skin and trimmings, doing a sort of quick wet render down. I like to do a wet render because that way I can leave a little bit of fats that are not completely rendered down so that I can turn the skin and little bits of meat into cracklings to go on tacos and stuff. This is a variety of bits of pork skin, bits of lard, and various broths from
There's some slow cooking thing that we've done recently, and this will be rendered down into lard, and then the broth will be used for stew bread. I don't have the physical ability to make soap the way Miranda does, but I adore watching her soap videos as well. I have no clue if you'll see this, but hi! I really appreciate the H&R tax preparer who took a look at my situation, because I was coming in to just, like, get it done in one fell swoop, because I've got dyscalculia and POTS fog and, like, wanted someone to, like, do the numbers correctly, who took a look at my unemployed, trying to start up a business, entirely reliant on my nesting partner situation, and said, it doesn't make sense for you to do it with us. It's going to cost you so much money to do it with us. Go do TurboTax and have someone check your numbers as you go along, because it doesn't make financial sense for you to do your tax filing with us. So I'm in the car while I wait for my partner to be done. But good job, H&R tax preparer. Like, good job. Thank you for being honest.
No, don't do this to me.
I know, I'm sorry.
So, you'd think at some point I'd stop being surprised at how fucking awful 90% of autism services are, or like autism resources are, cause like I'm increasingly starting to go nonverbal when I'm overstimulated. It can be good overstimulation, it can be bad overstimulation, but I go nonverbal, and I need a way to communicate with my partners to show them that this is what's happening, I'm not having a panic attack, you did nothing wrong, it's all good. So I was a dumbass, and I googled basic sign language for nonverbal autism, and oh boy, no. I preface this with, this is what it feels like for me. This is not what it's going to feel like for everyone. I do not prescribe or, describe the entire community's experience with going nonverbal. For me, it feels like I'm reverse choking, as in, I'm not choking on something trying to make its way down, I'm choking on the words and the sensation of speech as it tries to make its way out. It is terrifying, because for me in particular, I have a background where the best resource I had to mitigate abuse and diminish the level of abuse was to be highly articulate in pacifying dangerous adults. And if I don't have that, it's terrifying. If that ability to potentially talk my way out of a dangerous situation is gone, it's inherently terrifying. If this is what's happening to you, I'm really sorry. It sucks. A trend that I have noticed with parents of currently like teenagers or kids is if they find out that you have something that their kid has, they will just straight up ask you for recommendations on who to go to, because they've realized that the systems surrounding their kids' care is so incredibly fucked up. So like, my partner's H&R Block tax preparer is asking for like, okay, who do you get your ADHD meds from? The shop clerk at my local dispensary has, asked me, okay, who do you go see for a therapist who doesn't pathologize the fact that you're trans for all your anxiety? Just like things like that, like it's come up multiple times, and I love it so much. Like, yes, use me as a resource.
Life is a cage and my body is a prison. I don't have a lick of ambition, just cry and sleep and smoke weed to survive.
Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
I'll occasionally get really in my head about things that I was trained to think about food my entire life. But then I remember that each time I make something like this, I'm not just fighting back for me. I'm not just fighting that training for me, I'm fighting that training for my found family. These are chicken skin cracklings covered in cayenne pepper and chili pepper and red pepper flakes and black pepper and onion powder, and these are going to give my partner with ADHD immense dopamine, and these are going to give my other partners immense joy. And these, I'm not able to eat these personally because I can't tolerate that level of spice, but these are going to help feed my found family and help untrain our brains in thinking that there is a right and a wrong, a moral right and a moral wrong when it comes to food. And this is a win. This pan is a win.
Oh, have we delved into incoherent babbling already? You really are such a fragile little thing, aren't you?
I want to make something clear. When you get a male Maine Coon mix, chances are you're not getting a cat. You're getting a golden retriever in a cat suit, with all the single, if that, brain cell that implies. Look at that face. There are no thoughts in there. So this is the finished product. The larger pieces are definitely more chewy. The smaller pieces are definitely more crisp. They need to be stored in the fridge. Basically, for fairly cheap, you can get large pallets of bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs, and it doesn't take much to like debone them and deskin them. And then I take the chicken skin and put it in what's called a wet render. Put it in a pot on the stove with a little bit of salt and like a couple more cups of water than there are cups of chicken skin. That will then put that on a low heat on the stove. You could also do it in a crock pot, but I prefer stovetop because I'm able to control and stir better. Do most of it rendered, but then also like you learn to judge how to keep some of the fat in the skin so that they can then essentially air fry in their own fat on a baking tray. I do a rough chop with some kitchen shears. I do kitchen shears as well for trimming and deboning just because it's easier on my hands. I've got early onset arthritis from some medical neglect. And then sort of eyeball the seasonings. Heads up that you want seasonings that have a high smoke temperature or smoke limit, essentially. Like white pepper will burn way too fast for this type of cooking. But black pepper's good, chili pepper's good. Yeah, and then I use a slotted spoon to separate the larger pieces from the smaller pieces. Hades, you may not have this. It is not for cats. And then larger pieces will like go on top of like pastas, whereas smaller pieces will like get mixed into the sauce or like depending on what the texture is that one of my partners wants. Like sometimes like after the gym, these are great for like high protein snacking. Yeah, hope that helps and enjoy. This is a very typical evening of behavior with the cats when my partners are at the gym and it's just me here with them. The two lady cats are pouncing on each other, playing, being very, very fierce lady cats. Exactly. And then Hades is in the armchair, observing. Not getting in their way because he respects the lady cats. He drinks his lady cat respect juice. And he doesn't want to get bashed in the face by one of the lady cats.
Everybody told me that I sound like CG5. Probably because I am CG5.
Oh, I'm Pretty Boy. Yes! Pretty?
Okay, random guy pulling out of the intersection. I appreciate the sentiment of
screaming, put Trump in jail. I don't appreciate the jump startle from you screaming that unexpectedly as I'm pulling out of a busy intersection.
On yourself to let people who remind you of who you used to be go down and deal with the consequences of their own actions.
Reminding myself to listen to the shark. Listen to the shark. Don't bite people. And socially acceptable stabby, but listen to the shark. My problem isn't that I have the gay audacity to think that I know how to do the big project, it's that I do know how to do the big project because of a background of low-income parentified eldest in a crunchy homeschool family. But because of the medical neglect of that background, I no longer have the physical ability to do the big project and will send myself into a flare-up if I try. The honest problem is that I keep trying and sending myself into flare-ups.
So, sometimes being a cat parent involves celebrating their slightly petty successes. For example, Hades managed to beat Penelope to the wood cat box. He loves his wood cat box. It was his favorite when he was a kitten, and the size of his head. Like, literally, he was the runt of the litter. He did not stop growing. I did not expect him to get this big. And Penelope has to suffer, oh, what a horrible suffering, on the couch. Belith does not care, she's just annoyed that I have not yet produced the evening's red dot for her to chase.
Julian, why am I tied to a stick?
To trigger any explosives Carl might have set for me.
Oh yay, I'm a sacrifice!
I pull women, I pull men. I've managed to pull 3 people who think that I have inherent value as a human being and am lovable even when I'm not actively producing labor for them. It's fucking weird, but I'll take it.
But it's over. Then you're driving me home, and it kinda comes out as I get up to go. You kiss me in your car, and it feels like the start of a movie I've seen before. But it's not real, and you don't exist.
You go down just like holy Mariana cross. You beauty never ever scared me. Mariana cross.
So why do I still feel so goddamn inferior? Can't be too loud and can't be too busy. If I don't answer now, are they still gonna need me?
Make a scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me.
Yes, I do the cooking, yes, I do the cleaning.
I found this poor creature abandoned on the streets. It was malnourished and had no tags, so I took it in. I had to wake up every 2 hours to feed it raw energy, and after a month of care, my creature looks so much healthier.
Are you looking for partners that love you unconditionally? Try polyamory with traumatized neurodivergent genderqueer. Simply join OkCupid in a fit of loneliness, pay the $50 to see who liked your profile because no one wants to make the first message. Start dating the gorgeous way out of your league but doesn't realize she is ADHD goth trans femme. Get introduced to her partners, fall over head over heels for them, and boom! Terms and conditions may apply. Side effects may include unlocking traumatic memories as you learn what it is to be loved unconditionally, increasing awareness of how fucked up your childhood was, gender, and going no contact with your family and moving to another state. Results may vary. On today's edition of I'm a Useless Bottom Queer, I didn't realize until afterwards that I had gotten flirted with in the Walmart checkout line. This gorgeous person looked at me and said, "I love your hair." And I was like, "Thank you. The goal was Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender." And they looked me up and down in a way that made me feel flushed. Because again, I'm a bottom, and said, "I'm picking up what you're putting down and it's looking great."
Making and posting content about being both polyamorous and chronically ill and physically disabled is like playing whack-a-mole with those little bot accounts that are like, oh, this spell person, because they're never actually going to use the word witch, fixed my entire marriage in one day, or, oh, I tried this person's magical herbs. It's like, fuck off. I may have unintentionally hearth/kitchen witched a little too close to the sun. I put pretty much everything in mason jars. They're easy storage. I get to see how much we have, and that makes my food scarcity, anxiety, trauma shut up. I put everything in mason jars, including the cat treats. And now anytime I open a mason jar, the cats think I'm trying to feed them a treat. No! You won't like the paprika!
Okay, I don't like this conversation or this person. I feel like I'm hiding it pretty well, though, thank God.
If I ever try to gaslight myself, or anyone else ever tries to gaslight me about going no contact with my family in order to protect my health and not contemplating going back into contact and playing Russian roulette with my health, I don't know where I'm going with this. I am having such a bad flare-up because I finalized going no contact with my younger siblings last night, I think. I can feel my heartbeat in my tongue. I feel drunk and concussed, and I can't stand without fainting. And I've been doing my due diligence in symptom mitigation. This is purely from the stress.
I think I've seen this film before, and I didn't like the ending.
So, I'm a fiber artist, and I'm currently working primarily with thrift store secondhand yarn because I'm figuring out, okay, what's my process, what product am I eventually going to sell, etc. And I also live with 3 miniature house panthers, 2 of whom are very fierce hunting lady cats, one of whom is a Maine Coon mix himbo who he's tried to hunt before and he ended up running into a wall. But this one especially has, she will try to eat things that are not food, including little bits of yarn fiber. So when I'm half asleep in the middle of the night and I see something fuzzy, but not normal fuzzy, in the middle of the floor, and I don't have my glasses on because it's the middle of the night, I get somewhat alarmed. It's like, oh crap, what did she kill? What ended up in the house that she actually managed to kill? And what is that? What is that? And, it's a bit of a, like, feathery yarn. And I'm just thankful that I got to it before she did, so that she didn't eat it. Yes, she is absolutely roasting me for this, because you are a chaos calico.
I made a hard decision and I feel a little scared. I know it had to happen, but it's not my cross to bear. 'Cause I am not a martyr, nor could I ever be. 'Cause I am not my mother, and my mother isn't me.
Penelope is an ESA cat who has assigned herself the duty of Pots Alert Cat. And she and I, play a fun game called Is She Pissed Off at Me because she's a Maine Coon mix and wants to be in the shower with me? Or is she pissed off at me because I dared take a shower while I was having a dizzy flare and she doesn't like it when I have dizzy flares and will try to herd me to my armchair?
Say it with me, kids. If protecting my peace makes me the villain, then bitch, my name is Thanos.
A conversation between me and my ADHD goth trans femme regarding how frickin' fast her ESA cat is. The statistical likelihood of dying via broken neck from tripping over your own cat is never 0. Gotcha. And then they'll eat you. It's part of the appeal. It's a very efficient system.
I have to.
Why?
Because if I don't, that means that all the damage I got isn't good damage. It's just damage. I have gotten nothing out of it, and all those years I was miserable was for nothing. I could have been happy this whole time, and written books about girl detectives, and been cheerful, and popular, and had good parents. Is that what you're saying? What was it all for?
Falling through the air, I wonder how can this be?
Belith certainly knows the routine. She knows that when Dad sits in this armchair in the evenings, the red dot appears. Penelope knows this routine as well. I'm nothing more than a producer of red dots for the two of you, aren't I?
I don't want a volleyball line lesson. I just want an ice cream.
Is your human incredibly stubborn and trying to work through a pot's flare, even though they're dizzy as fuck and may collapse at any second? Try screaming at them until they sit their ass down into their armchair. Results may vary depending on the stubbornness of the human involved. Yes, I'm talking. I'm allowed to talk. I'm not gonna make my dizziness work.
We found a spider in the house. You freaked and you jumped up onto the couch. Since I was close and able, I jumped up on the coffee table. You said you should kill that. I said no, fuck that. You said come on, be a man. What? You're a total anti-sexist, a patriarchy fighter, but your whole worldview collapses the moment there's a spider. Cool, I get it, this is the real you, it's a pleasure, nice to meet you. Shit like this brings the movement down. Everyone's a feminist until there is a spider around.
I just wanted to remind you that being chronically ill, that doesn't make you a burden. The chronic illness is a burden on you.
Oh, I'm pretty boy. Yes. Pretty.
Neurodivergent eldest daughters. What helping profession did you go into?
I was pressured into a library career, and then finally chose my own job as a direct support professional for traumatized neurodivergents. And I had to stop because the pile of medical neglect and unlocking of traumatic memories from ableist abuse from my family made it so that I was having constant flare-ups and was unable to do my job.
All gonna be safe, and we're all gonna have a great time. What in the Jesus Christ was that?
Gods, this POTS flare is so bad. I'm loopy, I'm giggly, I can't walk in a straight line, and I can feel my heartbeat in my tongue. Dang, I have to be really blazed in order for me to do all that. If you can't make your own, store-bought is fine. The amount that being able to look out my window when I'm at my computer desk and see a bird and recognize the bird that this is done in this apartment has done for my mental health is weird. Laughs and recovering crunchy homeschooler smugness. What kind of bird was it, love? A blue jay, but like, it wasn't like, you know, that's easy to identify, but like, it wasn't a couple pigeons on a rooftop. Hey, don't knock a couple pigeons on a rooftop. You can do a lot with a couple pigeons on a rooftop if you're a crunchy homeschooler, 11-year-old undiagnosed autistic kid with no social life. That got sad, I apologize.
Cinnamon rolls, cinnamon rolls, cinnamon rolls, cinnamon rolls, cinnamon rolls, cinnamon rolls, the happiest morning of the week.
The continual outrage that my partner continues to have on my behalf when it comes to why the fuck is there gluten in that? Why is there gluten in that? There shouldn't be gluten in that. That's oats that is made out of a naturally no gluten substance. Why is there gluten in that? Is really, really endearing. Because like they work at like a surplus store and they'll like bring home various stuffs. Is like, this doesn't say gluten, but it does have other things in it, and for some reason, those other things sometimes contain gluten. Why is there gluten in the oats? It's fantastic, and I just wanted to share. having a therapist who also has a dysautonomia disorder. Theirs is currently, like, undiagnosed, but it's being treated like POTS because that seems to be effective. And making a statement like, yeah, no, I thought I was going to get my taxes done, and them looking at me like, there is a storm, there's a winter storm going on, and you just went no contact with your youngest sibling, and you thought you were going to get your taxes done. You thought that you were going to be not brain fogged enough to get your taxes done. Huh? They have points, but they didn't need to make it that loudly.
That sounds like a you problem. Just like she was when she was beautiful. She signed the letter.
I got 5 pieces of candy. I got a chocolate bar. I got a quarter. I got a rock.
You go down just like Holy Mary, Mariona Cross. You beauty never ever scared me, Mariona Cross.
The homeschoolers next door seem to be playing a game that consists of anytime they see an adult, they scream, "It's a human! Run!" And running. And, mood, homeschoolers next door, mood. I'm entirely okay with how uncool the younger generations perceive me. For some context for this particular statement, I was getting out of my car the other day to put gas in it, and this 13-year-old was getting out of the minivan with their siblings and making Modi kvetchy noises, and I looked over at them and I said, "Mood." And they looked at me with like, "Oh my god, this person is so uncool. Why are you talking to me?" And then their mother, patted them on the back and said, "Mood," and the look of absolute no. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with accepting this new role in my life.
I'm a prophet! What? Prophet! I prophesy! I have sight! I see!
Why am I so incredibly hungry right now? Because you're less than 2 days off of an extended flare and you moved a bookshelf and books most of the day? Seems like fake news, but I'll go eat something.
Hey, sexy lady, I like your flow.
Do ba 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 do boo do a boo ba do ba do boo boo ba do.
All right, sweetie, you ready to get some new notebooks and protractors and slacks?
I want blue jeans.
You're getting slacks!
The dissociative memory loss problem combined with the POTS brain fog problem of, have I made this TikTok? Have I used this sound before? I don't want to scroll all the way back. I post about 6 TikToks per day. Meh, it'll be fun.
I don't know a single person of any sexuality who'd enjoy this.
There's sticks in the walls. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
I'm not a gamer. I date gamers. I'm not a gamer myself. And I have never played Genshin Impact in my entire life. I tried to download it on my Chromebook laptop, and my Chromebook laptop said, "Fuck you." So here are some of the things that I have internalized that happens in Genshin Impact that I've never played, and I've just received a lot of info dumps from. Zhongli is an old man who does not understand money. He's actually a dragon. His ex is an abusive dragon who he killed. And he works for a teenager who keeps trying to sell people
half-off coffins. Klee throws bombs. Klee is being raised by knights because her mom decided to do something that wasn't raising Klee. Yeah. I, as a grumpy, plump trans mask, am Guoba. Physical Shenhe isn't real and can't hurt you. Osmanthus wine tastes disgusting. Fuck the Oceanid. And the Empress Shogun character is terrifying. When your cat has woken you up every morning so that you can feed his cartoons, and then falls asleep facing the opposite direction of his cartoons.
You used to be nice. Or did you never used to be? Oh God. Maybe you never used to be.
Does anyone have any tips for how to communicate to your ESA cat turned POTS alert cat that just because you're getting up doesn't mean that you're going to be getting up for long? She doesn't need to keep screaming at you. You're getting water so you can stop being dizzy. Asking for a friend.
There are some things, though, I know for certain. Always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder. Keep rosemary by your garden gate. Plant lavender for luck. And fall in love whenever you can.
I hate memory unlocks. I'm going to have some ice cream and some Tylenol for my splitting headache while I wait for my partners to get home from the gym. Then they're going to shower as needed. We're going to settle in and have a lovely evening testing out the new air fryer, possibly watching Labyrinth because one of my partners hasn't seen it. And we're going to have a lovely evening. Fuck my brain and fuck my parent. I have started timing my showers to when my ESA cat turned POTS alert cat is sleeping soundly on the other end of the apartment, because it doesn't help for her to scream at me because I'm having a shower. Did I get dizzy coming out of the shower? Yes. Does she have a point? Yes. Am I being topped by my own cat? Yes.
You're gonna be eaten by a coyote. Run, little one, though the pack may follow. Too quite thin, their brother fatter. Humans will win, just gotta be faster. Run for the yard, they fought up the gutter. That was a route, better find another. Was that a rabbit? Really not like the one I seen on a cereal box.
Excuse me, ma'am, are you aware of the fact that you are committing medical fraud? Are you aware of the allegations that you are not, in fact, a medical service alert animal? Do you care about this at all?
Coco, when mommy says stop, you say okay.
It's just a baby.
But you still had to say okay, mom.
I'm just a baby.
Cishet guys get, like, tractors given as gifts, I think, and, like, bad beer? I don't know. This trans mask is quite content with my partner having given me a mason jar of Werther's as a joke, but joke's on them, my gender is old man, and I really like both mason jars and Werther's.
I get dirty thoughts about you. They get worse when I'm without you. Does that mean that I'm going to hell? Or are you thinking them as well? No.
I mean, sometimes I worry that given my complexion and the fact that the sides of my head are shaved, that if I wear my Norse pagan jewelry, that I'll be perceived as a threat, and I'd much rather not wear the jewelry than be perceived as a threat, because I don't want to give off the wrong impression. I say this with love. You have a frog on your shirt, you have rainbow glasses, your bag is covered with gay and inclusivity pins, and you have a cane that's covered in flower stickers. You're not being perceived as a threat.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, who's the pig?
Are you talking to me?
Uh-oh, they called him a pig.
Are you talking to me?
Shouldn't have done that.
Are you talking to me?
Now they're in for it.
They call me Mr. Pig! Ah!
You've always been slightly awkward, kinda weird. upside down and not all here. What's wrong with me and you is crystal clear.
He was a grown man and you were 15. Vanessa, you didn't ask for that. You were just trying to go to school.
Oh, Donnie, you couldn't kiss me like that and not mean it just a teensy-weensy bit.
Meet the greatest actor in the world. I'd rather kiss a tarantula.
But you don't mean that.
I don't. Hey, Joe, bring me a tarantula.
You have a missed call. It wasn't missed. It was ignored.
So, I've lost a lot of weight in a not honestly healthy way. It's not honestly that great. But I've lost a lot of weight, and my stomach, my belly has been deflating. And honestly, this was causing me more body dysmorphia, more body dysphoria than having the full stomach. However, Hades greatly approves the change of texture and is like, cool, I'm gonna make biscuits on Dad's belly, and this is just gonna be a thing now.
It's all gonna be safe, and we're all gonna have a great time. What in the Jesus Christ was that?
Gotta love when your ESA cat is throwing a tantrum because you were warping the loom and not paying attention to him, but also throwing a tantrum because the loom is no longer available as one of the few boxes that he actually fits in. So he's alternating between trying to snuggle you and trying desperately to snuggle the loom because he doesn't have a brain cell.
Hamilton wrote the other 51. How do you ride like you're running out of time? Right day and night like you're running out of time. Every day you fight like you're running out of time. Like you're running out of time. Are you running out of time? How do you ride like tomorrow won't arrive? How do you ride like you needed to survive? How do you ride every second you're alive? Every second you're alive. Every second you're alive.
Just two himbos snuggling together. One of them has no brain cell, the other one really wishes he didn't. Guess which is which? My calico ESA cat steals small objects when she's annoyed with me, including dice and pronoun pins, pride pins, etc. And she's annoyed with me often because she's also a self-assigned medical alert cat, and would absolutely be committing insurance fraud if she could. But she steals pronoun pins in particular, and I haven't seen this for 7 months. Guess where I found it? I found it in a pair of knockoff combat boots that I put away for the winter. 7 months. 7 months. I'm going to suggest a weird thing that people try. If you have sensory processing disorder, particularly geared towards overstimulation, not really liking loud noises, and you've got medical trauma and you don't like buzzy things near your face, and you shave your head fairly often, try like a pet quiet groomer like shaver type device. I got one for the cats, because, you know, Penelope especially refuses to let me groom her, and we're not allowing mats in this household. And I tried it, and it doesn't have nearly as bad a buzz as a regular head shaver, and it's just a lot better, and it's just as effective. It's the same goddamn product, but, you know, adapted.
Super mega self-reliant, hyper-independent. I won't ask for help even from those that I've befriended. Only thing I want from anybody is attention. Super mega self-reliant, hyper-independent. Hum-de-little-lum-de-lie, hum-de-little-lum-de-lie. Your mama's crying. Your mama's crying for you. Mama's lying. Oh.
Martha, I'm coming home, sweetie. I'm back in the fucking building again! Oh, it gets worse. Number one, she's the leading expert in POTS and EDS care in my side of the States, and she's my primary care provider. Number two, she fully knew that I wasn't on electrolyte or sodium supplements because, as I explained very clearly to her, yeah, my girlfriend makes good money, but she's supporting 2 chronically unwell and chronically ill adults on that money. And 3, this is one of the worst bits of advice you can give to someone with POTS. I only got better after another friend of mine who had POTS looked at this and went, oh my god, no, that is actively bad advice. You need to have sodium supplements in order to actually uptake any of that water. That amount of water is going to make you ill, and it did. I immediately felt better after I had a very salt-heavy meal. So yeah, I'm a little pissed.
Sorry to make you repeat everything you said to me. When somebody talks to me, my brain auto deletes.
I got romance reverse Uno'd again. I went up to my girlfriend. She's at her computer desk playing Cyberpunk for the 5th time. She's put a new mod in it, so she's able to bring more dopamine out of this game. And I, kissed the back of her hand. It was very sweet. Just like, you. Then, even while very impaired by the copious amount of edibles and weed that she had consumed, she took the back of my hand, gave it a long, slow, lingering kiss, and went, "No, you." Dirty pool, love. Dirty pool.
I like sluts and whores and ladies of the night, and I also like lesbians, and I like lesbians who are also sluts.
My friend has had good luck with providers off of the database Healthcare Professional Directory Archive of the Ehlers-Danlos Society. Heads up that may be a good resource. You can search by state for healthcare providers. I'm going to be looking on mine as well, because, I'm in Massachusetts, but I can't reliably get to Boston. I'm on the other end of the state, so I'm kind of stuck with this one until we figure something else out, but I'm going to be taking every word she says with a grain of salt. Ha, it's a joke.
Tell me your life story in 1 sentence. Go.
In a shocking turn of events, the high-achieving child grows up to become a burnt-out, severely anxious homosexual.
My baby, my baby.
Life does not... Oh my god. Oh my god.
Now my parents hearing the news, your only daughter drowned today. I thought about what they might say. Our daughter Judith, no, she moved to Austin. She's very happy there, or so we hear. She's always been so goddamn independent. The years go by and now we barely see her.
Gay rights! Yeah, gay rights! I'm gay.
I am so tired of having revolutionary realizations about my physical and mental health. New realization, likely mast cell activation syndrome. Because apparently food doesn't hurt everyone. Apparently the world isn't out there applying utilitarian philosophy to food decisions. Because, I genuinely thought this is how people decided sometimes what foods they like and didn't like. Because yeah, some foods don't taste good, but some of them hurt more than others and don't taste good. And sometimes something hurts, but it's not too bad of a hurt, and it tastes good. So you eat it even knowing that later it's going to hurt, because food hurts by default. Is food not hurting everyone by default? This isn't normal, apparently.
Get in the water. Get in the water. Or I'll raise the tide so high. While of it the coal will die. Get in the water. Wait. Get in the water. Stop this, please. I'll make tidal waves so profound. Both your wife and your son will drown.
Oh, get in the water! People say that, oh, you want to be different so bad, you want to be different so bad. No. I would much rather fit in and be liked. But there's something wrong with me, psychologically.
Watch them run. They will tear each other into pieces. Jesus Christ, this will be fun. Da 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 da.
I'ma grow up and be an astronaut. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on.
Any other former Boxcar Children kids, like the one, fellows who, absorbed those, anyone else deeply concerned about the amount of old white men that grandfather kept shipping his grandkids off to while having fallen out of acquaintanceship with them, years ago? This happened a lot. This was the primary plot to get a lot of, to get the kids to a lot of places. The statistical likelihood that one of those old white men was not great? I had my grandmother come visit fairly recently. And basically, laid out what had happened in my childhood, in my teenage years, and my young adulthood. And the worst part was that she could absolutely believe everything I was saying. Because she could absolutely see how my mother did the actions that she did, made the choices that she made, and what logic she had behind them. I never expected being believed to feel worse. You've got jokes. If I'm not laughing, I'll start sobbing, and none of us want that. Do you ever get to the point where you can track your trauma responses like fucking clockwork? I just looked at a medical bill of mine, and then 15 minutes later, actively had to pull myself out of serving my partner. Acting as a servant. Not acting as a partner, acting as a servant to my partner. Because that response is so deeply trained into me that I only catch myself doing it after about 15 minutes. And catching myself after 15 minutes is progress. I had a really great moment last night. I went to a potluck at two of my partners' Pride Chorus to celebrate the end of the season for the Pride Chorus. And there was this 9-year-old kiddo there, and there, there was a joke about, go touch grass, and kiddo looked quite confused, so I sort of turned and said, go touch grass is a joke based on the fact that a lot of adults work at computers a lot of the time and don't get outside as much as we honestly should. It's usually used in a negative tone that or a gaslighting tone for mental illness. If it's being addressed to you, it's probably not being used in a great tone, but that's where that joke comes from. We were using it in a positive moment to sort of take that term back because we don't get out as much as we should, and it's really nice to see the outside right now. And both kiddo and a bunch of the adults were like, thank you for explaining that. That was not self-evident by the joke, and I had taken that as a compliment or a positive statement before. Just yeah, we can explain things to each other. It doesn't have to be hard. This young autistic kiddo doesn't need to be wondering about that particular social norm. It was just really good. I can't think about it too long or I'll end up screaming in rage, and I don't feel like having the health flare-up that will come from me actually feeling anger. But yeah, dyslexia apparently is a thing. Apparently my hyperlexia was masking a lot of it. Yet another reason to be utterly pissed at the many, many adults who failed me. If I can still read, but I get to a point where if I've been reading too much and I've been working too hard to make the letters fucking stay in place, then my ability to read goes out the window for at least an hour, which is immensely frustrating. I'm a former librarian. I was a library director. I made a career out of this, and now it's just going, gone. And I'm pissed. And I won't be able to edit this to get it posted for a while because I was editing other TikToks, which led to me making this TikTok, so god fucking damn it.
I would talk, but even if it doesn't move away, I never want you back into my life. You can take your words and all your lies. I really don't care.
No. What? I said no. Why not? I don't want to. But I've got a gun. I don't care. Doesn't make any sense. Too bad.
Switching sides.
Are you talking about Marie Antoinette?
Yeah.
I heard a thing or two about her. Is this seat taken?
Well, I would like to hold my little hand. I will cry.
Sorry to make you repeat everything you said to me. When somebody talks to me, my brain auto deletes.
Watch them run. They will tear each other into pieces. Jesus Christ, this will be fun. Da 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 da.
One of the most painful things with how my particular mental illness, CPTSD bullshit interacts with my physical chronic illnesses is that I can do everything right. From a chronic illness perspective, I can drink the water, I can hide, I can do everything right. But the second that my adrenal gland goes off because I had a panic attack or a panic response to something like the fire alarm going off for no goddamn reason. Literally, there's no goddamn reason for the fire alarm to go off that early this morning, but it sent me into a panic response, and now, despite the fact that I've done, again, everything correct in regards to my chronic illness, my physicality, I am loopy as fuck today, and I cannot drive, so there go all the errands that I was planning on doing. I was talking with someone about how they had recently realized how far back their utter distrust of their parents went. And I couldn't help but feel jealous, because part of what hurts for me the most is that I trusted my mother implicitly. I trusted her so deeply, and that trust was misplaced. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be reeling from for the rest of my life. That trust was displaced. Fuck parents. Fuck parents. Are you a hard-to-diagnose, chronically ill, genderqueer person? Well, I'm certainly no diagnosis. We laugh so we don't sob.
You go down just like Holy Mary, Mariana Cross. You beauty never ever scared me, Mariana Cross.
Is everything that you're feeling, you wish you forgot. And if you're stuck watching TV, wishing you were not.
Oh my god, you're so funny. Thanks. It's a buy one get one free subscription that comes with trauma. I don't recommend subscribing.
You can have my continuous eye contact or you can have my undivided attention. You cannot have both.
I cannot state this enough. When you get a Maine Coon mix, even accidentally in this case where I was given the runt and he didn't stop growing, you don't get a cat. You get a dog in a cat suit. Here is Hades Himbo guarding the household from squirrels. He likes watching the birds, yeah, but he hates the squirrels.
How bad can I be? How bad could I possibly be? Let's see. All the customers are fighting.
All I ever wanted was for you to not hate me. But I'm mourning somebody that hasn't even died, and I'm fighting an addiction that isn't even mine. It's exhausting to be this angry all the time.
So apparently, people who are driving can ask the passengers to be quiet when they're driving in unfamiliar territory, and they can do that nicely, and they don't have to scream at children unexpectedly. Children who have, sensory issues and rejection dysphoria issues from that particular person. Apparently that's a normal thing that people can do. They can just ask the passengers to be quiet while they get the lay of the land and are focusing on driving. Learn something new every day. I hate it here.
I like to let people believe that I know what I'm doing.
Oh, the pH of this soil is too high. I believe I may die.
Fuck yeah, concrete!
I got white person smiled at before. I'm aware of my skin tone, but that's not what the point is. So, and I've seen this commented a lot on various African American people's videos. Like, what the fuck is that one smile and nod, brief eye contact and look away. And I've also seen a lot of my tone people explains no, that's I've acknowledged that you are human. I'm not a threat. Please don't think of me as a threat, but also please don't talk to me because I'm an awkward potato. And someone did that to me the other day. They looked down. I've got this necklace that has my pronouns on it because pins keep falling off. My cats keep stealing them. And he looked down at my pronoun necklace, looked at me, and went, and then kept walking. And it was I just got white person smiled at.
The missile is very tired. He is eepy. The missile has had a very long day of splashing bandits and wants to take just a small sleep. He eeby and neebies to sleepy. Mibsile sleepy and need bed by time. The missile...
Everyone has trauma, John. It came free with your fucking office job.
Objection!
Nuh-uh. Fuck you mean, nuh-uh?
And just keep my mouth shut when they do something stupid? Well, what kind of friend would I be then?
Oh, I see. I'm the problem.
I've dug 2 graves for us, my dear. Can't pretend to love perfectly with you in fear. Oh man.
Listen, I may be a walking red flag, but you cannot deny the fact that the quality of the fabric is excellent.
You are not in danger. You are not going into battle. You are crocheting.
No, I appreciate the sentiment. I really do. But here's the thing. There's no way you can guarantee that the fallout wouldn't affect people who I do actually still care about. And there's also the fact that she is the daughter of a mother who committed suicide. And she prided herself on being an excellent mother herself. And she now has to live with the fact that her eldest child is no contact for the rest of their life in order to keep themselves alive because they had suicidal ideation from the time they were 8. She has to live with that, and that's the best curse I can ever think of. I had a great moment with the ER nurse when she was putting in the things that I could get the IV fluids, and she looked at my inner elbow and she's like, "Do you bruise easily?" Because she was clearly getting ready to go tear the phlebotomist who did my blood draw a new one. It's like, remember, I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. My collagen is fucked. This is normal after being poked with a needle. I'm gonna be getting one of these, another one of these bruises after you poke me with a needle. I'm okay. Phlebotomist did a good job. And she's like, "I was that transparent, huh?" And it was just like, "You're good at your job. I appreciate you being good at your job, but my collagen is fucked. It's okay."
A beverage goblin needs at least 3 drinks at a time. She needs them while she's working for her body and mind. 1 to hydrate, 1 to energize, and 1 just for fun. A beverage goblin needs her beverages to make her brain run.
Of course it stopped right as I started to make this, but Penelope rolled over and was highly disconcerted by the dough kneading of the bread machine. And it's just like, I'm just going to lie here with my belly as a solar panel and monitor the situation.
The missile is very tired. He is eepy. The missile has had a very long day of splashing bandits and wants to take just a small sleep. He eeby and neebies to sleepy. Mibsile sleepy and need bed by time.
There's a lot of reasons I don't play rogues in D&D, but one of the primary ones is it's not a character archetype that I personally can connect to. I appreciate my roguey McGothkins, but I can't play rogues myself, because when I do roguey shit, it's entirely by accident. I didn't pay for this. It was in the basket of my cart, and I completely walked out with it, and I don't care because it's a major corporation, but I wish I had stolen the cayenne pepper on purpose, but no, it was an accident.
It's hard to believe I'm walking through the ruins of the first ever city, because I'm not. That's in Iraq, which is miles away, and fucking dangerous. But
where am I? My fading supply.
I don't know what's scarier.
Did you get enough?
The fact that everyone in this kingdom wants to run a sword through my heart. But then sometimes I just want to let them.
Though it never felt right. My little Versailles.
I am the Lorax. I speak for my knees.
You think the wind is ever trying to tell us something and we don't know how to hear it anymore?
Just want you to stop saying odd shit.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to go get Duncan? I know I showed up earlier than I was, told you I would, and we don't have to be there until 9. It's not even 8:30 now. I was just up until, I was up at 4, so I didn't just leave the house or I was gonna throw up with anxiety. So I've just been driving around, but then my bladder said no. 4! And we don't have to be there until 9. And you showed up around 8. Yes, we're going and getting Duncan, but sir! No! You're going to sleep later?
And she's a country music fan. Might even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and living hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap.
So I'm out here feeding the birds. Gotta feed the cartoons for the cats. But we had a rip-roaring thunderstorm last night, and this is what we in the Hearth Witch world call an accidental cleansing. These towels apparently needed to be cleansed via a rip-roaring thunderstorm. Offering myself grace. Ain't gonna hurt the towels any. And I'm gonna feed the birds and let the day be the day be.
Funny, but not funny haha. Funny as in, oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh no.
He's bouncing off my booty cheeks, I love the way he rides. I can hardly breathe when he's pumping deep inside. I kiss him on his neck and then he kisses on my pussy. Call him daddy while I holler, man, that boy's so damn good looking.
A mug tour, you said? I'll say less, my friend. So here are all of the mugs that we currently possess. We've got, this is a mug tree that has then been put into a, like, plant stands type thing. It was not intended for that purpose, but it works well, just gets it up off the ground so that these can rest over the side and not actually, hit the, the counter. This was from one of my partner's sisters as a gift for Christmas. This is partner to a partner present. This is from an aunt that I no longer speak to because she was toxic as fuck and I cut her off with the rest of my family. This is from a partner's parents. I love this one so much. RIT, it's where a partner of mine graduated. That's Basic Witch. This is a copyright mug. This picture was, obviously it's from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was a graduation gift from one of my partner's college friends. Not entirely sure why we have that one. Just some nice thrift store mugs, nice glaze. This is one of my personal favorites. I rescued this from the side of the road in a free pile. Just needed some love and care and some tending. And then this is another one of my partner's mugs that lives here during right now. And yeah, then we've got, the large thermos cups as well. But yeah, that is the mug collection. Ta-da. Oh, and then there are the teacups. Those live up here. I apologize for the incredibly bright light. Yes, there's a Studio Ghibli tea mug. A client's mother gave that to me. This is from Ghibli World in Tokyo. It's bone china. I adore this thing so much. But yeah. Well, I just got finished with the newest round of we live in an old New England building and we're on the first floor and my cats need to have food out at all times because most of them have food trauma. Russian roulette with the ants. So, gonna have some pissed off cats, but I'm not willing to have ants in the cat food because that will piss them off more and just no. So, the food's been moved. Again, I'll put out a fresh bowl. Again. They have 2 bowls available to them at all times, so.
Needle in the thread, gotta get you out of my head. Needle in the thread, gonna wind up dead. Needle in the thread, gotta get you out of my head. Needle in the thread, gonna wind up dead. Needle in the thread, gotta get you out of my head. Needle in the thread, gonna wind up dead.
Wait, you hadn't heard of Seabat? And I'm the one introducing you to the Seabat bullshit. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I presumed you knew. A few moments later. Wait, no, you don't know about ABO fanfic? No, I introduced you to Seabat. I can't be the one to explain ABO to you. No, I'm refusing to do both on the same day. Hades. Hades Himbo. You don't fit inside of my... You don't fit inside of my shoes. I know I have big feet, but you are a Manghun Bengal mix. You're not going to fit inside my shoes. Why, I suppose it's sort of a box. There's just no thoughts in that head, are there? No thoughts, just vibes. Alright, you can vibe with my shoes. I'm not being rebellious by being no contact with my family. I'm following a at least 3-generation long tradition of at least one of the eldest children fucking off into the sunset to keep themselves alive and not ever contacting their family again. We haven't heard from my Uncle Tim in years, and I don't know what happened to the one before him. So I've got a he, they pronoun necklace that I wear because my pins regularly get stolen by my cats. And I was wearing this while I was at the doctor's office the other day, and the cis-man nurse came in and was very flamboyantly gay, and it was fantastic. But he looked at me and was like, "Yes, girl, boy, yes, boy, yes, boy, yeah." And I was like, for the purposes of this conversation, "Yas, girl" is absolutely acceptable and appreciated. You're all good. And he was just like, "Oh my god, I didn't want to know." We love to see a cis ally. We really do.
The third role is called the lost child. These children follow the rules, fly low under the radar, adjust to everyone else, don't ask for anything, but end up being very isolated and lonely.
There is a certain set of older white women who look at me, an obviously queer person with a cane, and don't see me. They see a white person with a cane for whom they can go out of their way to help and then feel good about themselves because they helped the white person with a cane. And yes, that person was also LGBTQ, so that's another minority that they helped who was also white. And I feel a little bit bad about it sometimes, but I'm going to be taking advantage of the fact that they're going out of their way to help me. And sure, you can have, your worldview, affirmed to yourself, and, I'm aware of the intersectionality is at work, but I'm also aware that I just dodged a very shady vending situation because the white lady behind the counter saw my cane and not me and was like, "I need to be honest with this cane person about whether or not they should actually be vending here." I'm gonna take that.
You cannot make everyone think and feel as deeply as you do. This is your tragedy, because you understand them, but they do not understand you.
What's between those ears? Is it a brain? No, just floof. No brain. Yeah.
I grew up in an ableist family and undiagnosed autistic. I find certain rapid transitions really difficult. I had several of those this afternoon, where I was having to make rapid pivots, rapid transitions, all of whom were upsetting how I predicted my day to go. So, now, because I have the time, and I'm being gentle with myself, because I've had those rapid transitions and rapid pivots, before I go pick up my partner, I've got the time. I'm going to have some time in the car, get myself acclimated to this transition before I attempt to drive in downtown. Because if I attempt to drive downtown in my current elevated state without having this transitional period, I'm going to end up snapping at someone, and I'd rather it not be my partner.
So obviously you're going to defend your monkey boyfriend. What are you, a bad monkey boyfriend or something?
Monogamy. In this economy. Does anyone want to be a monkey boyfriend so we can defend each other and have a larger patch of territory and have many more successful babies?
Ooh, a fresh pie? Save me a slice. That's good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's... Alright, that's good. Okay. Alright, okay, alright. Okay, that's good. That's good! It's enough slices!
The carrot, the peas, the celery sticks, the meat and the fish will make you sick. The
apples, tomatoes, wheat, and the corn. All the food is poison. Don't eat the food, it's poison food.
I am creation, haunted and holy, made in glory. Even the depths of the night cannot blind me. Will you guide me?
I have been noticed in the window by the husky that my neighbors have visiting, and he keeps whining for me to come and say hello. And I'm having a hard time with a hyper-empathy response, and my cats are having a hard time because there's a husky.
Home life, roller coaster, craziness, moving out and in again. Tis a maze on my unmedicated tiny dark shit.
This is not an equal relationship. You need to do as you're told without question.
Yeah, they were right. It wasn't an equal relationship. Because I was a child whose brain had not developed to the point where I could control my emotions. And they were an adult with a fully developed brain who had the ability to control their emotions but chose not to do so. They're right. It wasn't an equal relationship, but not for the way that they think. The neighbors have a husky visiting, and Penelope is very much in the mind of, what the fuck is that thing? I think this might be the first dog she's ever seen, but she is having a time with it. Oh my goodness.
Home life, roller coaster, craziness, moving out and in again. Tis a maze on my unmedicated tiny dark shit.
I wasn't aware that was something a person could do.
Okay, fine. Are we doing this? Cool. You're fine, walk it off.
There will come a soldier who carries a mighty sword. He will tear your city down. Olay, olay, O Lord. Olay, 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 O Lord. He will tear your city down. Olay, olay, O Lord. I'm sorry, don't leave me. I want you here with me. I know that your love is gone. I can't breathe, I'm so weak. I know this isn't easy. Don't tell me that your love is gone. That your love is gone.